Hey folks, welcome back to Mark Kelly Farm. Ruby's happy to see you too. Huh, Ruby? You want to go plant some seeds? Huh? You looking for Brandy, huh? It's been a pretty warm day out here in central Nebraska, but we're getting a little bit of cloud cover, so it's cooled off a little bit. Got some seeds we need to start in the greenhouse, so let's go do it. Earlier it was way too hot out here to be in the greenhouse, and I don't have it set up for the fan and stuff to come on yet, but we'll do that now definitely. But it's the first part of April, April 2nd today. So we need to get our tomatoes going because we're about a month away or so from planting out in the garden. So we need to get these things started. All right, we're getting things going here in the greenhouse. We're going to be starting our tomatoes and our peppers. So I've got some fresh seed this year. I've got some jalapenos that I'm going to start. Hello cat. Our tomatoes are going to be the Sweet 100s, the Romas, and the Celebrities. That's the only 3 tomatoes I'm doing this year because those do the best for us. I have some habaneros. I have some heirloom Waltham butternut squash. We have some Table Queen acorn squash and some garden sweet cucumbers. I'm not going to plant the squash quite yet. I'm going to do that probably within this next week. Today we're going to concentrate on the tomatoes and the peppers. So what you need to do is you got to start out with moist soil. You don't want dry soil to plant in. So we have some soil here out of our fresh bag here. It's a little moist, but it's not moist enough. So we're going to add some moisture to it. Get it to where it's moist to the touch before we put it in our little cups. If you remember, we use these styrofoam cups. We just poke a hole in the bottom of them with like a pencil, and then we bottom water them in these trays. Alright, that's feeling just about right. Maybe just a hair more. Ruby keeps hearing the water running. She wants to come in here and play in it. So we'll get this stirred up real well. You don't want to water it once it's in the cup because then this planting mix sometimes actually kind of repels water. It'll just run around the sides and down through the bottom. Anytime you find a big stick, we're going to take that out because we don't want that in our little cups. So let's start filling our cups. We're going to do this about mostly full. These tomatoes and peppers don't need very much soil on top of them. We want to leave a little bit on top, maybe a ½ inch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our seeds in, and then we'll put another little layer of moisture on top of that. Makes things much easier. We don't have to go poking a bunch of holes in the dirt. Now the reason we start in such big cups like this. You see a lot of people have the little trays that they start in. Is we won't have to up pot these tomatoes before they go into the garden. Only when these seedlings start is the only time that we'll have to up pot, because we're going to start all of our seedlings in 1 cup for each variety. And then when it's time to transplant, we'll come through and pull them all apart. I believe we've got videos on that already. All right, just like that, right there is what we're looking for. So now, let's get our tomatoes going. Here's our super sweet. Each one of these cups is going to yield probably about 20 tomato plants. And you can see they don't give you a lot of seed in these things. So we want to distribute our tomatoes around. These are those coated seeds. Makes them a little bit bigger and easier to see. So I'm going to take my little pencil here, and any place where we have a seed like really close to the other one, I'm just going to kind of spread them apart so they're not so close when they germinate and when we actually come through and bust this whole thing apart. So just kind of an even distribution on those. That's what we got. So planting depth, let's see here, 1/4 of an inch. So we want to put 1/4 of an inch of our soil on top of those seeds. I'm going to guess it right about 1/4 inch. We'll evenly distribute that around and barely firm it down. You just want the seeds to have good contact with the soil. You don't want to just completely smash it down. So it's nice and flat. It's not too tight, but there's good contact with the seed. So let me see if I have a label that already says Sweet 100 here. I'm sure I do. There we go. Sweet 100 tomatoes. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with our other tomatoes, and then we'll do our peppers. Let me do one more before we shut her down. So here's our Romas. Now we're going to have to write a new label for Romas because last year we did the San Marzanos. It's amazing what little seed they give you for $2. So this one has enough to like do 2 cups, but we don't need 2 cups worth of them. So we'll seal these back up. We already have way too many tomatoes. You can just imagine if we got 20 different, or 20 of each variety, that's quite a few tomato plants. That's 60 tomato plants. We don't need that many, even though we do share with our friends. We take them some tomato plants. So about 1/4 inch of soil on top of those. Just like that. We'll make up a new label and we'll get the rest of these planted. All right, we got everything planted that we're going to get going today. So remember, every one of these cups is going to be about 20 plants. So we put water in our tray about 3/4 of an inch up on the bottom of the cup. And because these cups have holes in the bottom, this water will wick up into this dirt and this will stay moist without being too moist. We'll check this tray every couple days to make sure there's about 3/4 of an inch of water in here. I also came through with a watering can and we watered all those seeds in. Gave them a good, to where we saw the cup is full on the top here. About like that. Just to make sure we have enough moisture in the top of those without disturbing too much of the dirt. That water will run right down through the cup. ready to rock. While we were out here, I thought I'd get the lick tubs going too. So we put some early season, some early spring planting crops out here. I got some baby bok choy in here, some baby leaf lettuce, and some butter crunch lettuce. There'll just be a little bit in there. It'll cover that whole pot though. And then I've got this full of kale, and I've got this one full of spinach. If you've never seen the way these things work, we have a video on these. It's called a self-wicking lick tub, I believe, or watering tub. These are the lick tubs that the farmers use in the cattle. They're full of mineral, and once the cows lick all the mineral out of them, they have a bunch of these buckets laying around. We get them for free. But set these things up. You only have to water them about once a week. You water them in these PVC pipes here until the water comes out that little hole. And then about once a week, come back and water some more. What do you think, Ruby? Is that going to work? I think so. As fast as that kale grows and grows back, just keeps coming back and back and back. It's like the Energizer Bunny. That'll be plenty of kale for us when that gets going. Same way with the spinach, but the spinach, once it gets warm during the summer, it's going to bolt, and then we'll throw something else in that bed. Beautiful night out here. God, I love this. So beautiful out here. The wind's not blowing. Everything's starting to turn green. It won't be long. It's going to be paradise out here. Can you hear the bees in the trees? Must be getting some pollen off of these plants. They're starting to bloom, getting fuzz on them. One of my girls right there. Let's go out to the hive and see if they're bringing in pollen. Wow, look at that pollen they're bringing in. Got all their little saddlebags full. Very nice. Now they've had probably about a half a gallon of syrup already this spring, so they probably won't need much more of that. But I'm real proud of these girls. We got a cold snap coming up on Tuesday. 2 days from now. It's Sunday today. So we're probably going to leave that cover on until maybe Thursday morning. We'll pull that off. And it looks like the weather beyond that's going to be okay, and they can have free reign in and out of their hive box and have a lot easier access to it now that the cold weather is pretty much over. We got the tractor out and we rolled our compost pile over. Look at this beautiful compost this year, folks. That's just gorgeous. That's going to be so nice to have good compost finally. We're going to start a new pile right here. This pile's done. So we're going to discontinue adding anything to this pile. So when we start mowing and any further clean outs of the chicken coop, we're going to go right here. And then once we're done with this pile this year, we'll just combine everything and let her cook again. The garden looks like it's dried up enough where we can get in here and actually start doing some work. It's been too muddy. But we can come out here and start sowing some cold weather stuff right into the ground out here. We can do some snow peas and probably some greens, spinach, cabbage, stuff like that. Cool season stuff. We'll start doing that maybe here in this next week. You can see we have our little back porch, or front porch actually, on our chicken coop. Remember we built that in the shop? Chickens are going to bed. Hopping right in there. Kelly just come out and collected the eggs. The dogs were chasing a rabbit. Ruby, did you get that rabbit? Ooh. How many eggs we get? That many?
Ten?
10 eggs, that's good. Girls are doing good. Alright, I gotta go up the hill and unhook our trailer from our auction the other day so I can use my truck tomorrow. And then we're gonna go in and eat some dinner. See you inside, babe. I don't know if the camera can do this night justice. Nights like this that just make the overwinter worthwhile. Just absolutely gorgeous out here. The colors, smell. Springtime is coming, folks. It's going to get super busy here real soon. Well, we're going to head in the house. I'll take you downstairs and show you what Kelly's been doing down there, growing lettuce and such. She's been keeping us in the greens pretty regular. She's got some new stuff planted down here. I don't know if you can see because of the grow lights. Get some Nasturtium, some Vera lavender, some marigold, calendula, strawflower, and then it's got some lettuce and cilantro going over here. And then we've had lettuce pretty constant for the last couple months. But we're going to get another set of grow lights to hang over on this end of the table so we can get more going, because right now these grow lights aren't covering the lettuce and everything over here. But that's what she's got going down here. We've been going through our seed stash, getting stuff ready, seeing what we need to buy, what we already have. But got lots of flower seeds in here, and vegetable seeds. Stuff Kelly's collected. And she's got kind of a plan going here, what she's going to be doing with her flowers. We keep our seed bucket over in the root cellar over there. Speaking of the root cellar, we're still doing okay. We come through winter pretty well. We're getting low on a few things. I need to can some more beans. We're going to probably need to grow some carrots this year. Probably need to get those in the ground. I'm hoping we get a tomato crop this year because we're down to probably about 12 jars of tomatoes. I need to get this old squash out of here, clean that up. We're pretty good on zucchini squash. We'll be okay till the zucchini starts producing. We got plenty of jams and jellies, so probably won't need to make any more of those this year. But we're definitely going to need some more pears. We'll be through with these peaches. I'm hoping we get some apples this year. I need to put these jars away up here on top. But we've got a pretty good stash of chicken stock and turkey stock. And then red wine vinegar. Vanilla. We're down to 2 jars of our hot sauce and 1 jar of tomato juice. Still got 1 good tub here of brown beans. We're probably going to grow some more this year. Kelly's making potatoes with kielbasa tonight. Sounds really good. We've got our little egg carousel back out again. Put our eggs in that ones that are surplus that we're not selling out to everybody. Alright, that's it for a little update tonight. Just a quick little video show you we're getting going here on the garden. It won't be long that we're going to be going gangbusters out there, and we'll love it. So till next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Say bye, Cal.
Bye.
We'll see you guys later.